a New Age cult, spiritual warfare, outrageous claims, a mummified body. What could go wrong? This is the bizarre, baffling, and often disturbing tale of Amy Carlson, aka Mother God, and the Love Has Won cult. Welcome back, Dreadfuls. I'm Jean.
I'm Derek.
And this is the Dr. Dread podcast, where we explore all things unusual, unsettling, and unexplained. And we have a good one today, Derek.
What is it?
We have Amy Carlson, a.k.a. Mother God, and the Love Has Won cult.
I've never heard this cult. I'm usually pretty good with cults. Not in that type of way that I'm in cults, but I usually know about my cults.
Well,
I haven't heard of this one.
Well, buckle up, because this one's a doozy.
Okay, then.
This shit is bananas.
Like, what kind of bananas?
All kinds of bananas.
Fair enough. Let's do it.
All right. So, Amy Carlson was born on November 30th, 1975, in a small town in Kansas. She was the oldest of three girls. When she was still young, her parents divorced. Her mother remarried and moved to Oklahoma City when she was 9. And after the custody battle that ensued, Amy and her sisters ended up splitting their time between Kansas and Oklahoma City. Amy was typically described as a sweet child who always made good grades in school and never really got into trouble or was into anything too terribly weird. But then as she got older, she ended up being married 3 times, had 1 child with each husband, and her mother claims that she was never particularly close to or motherly to any of her children, but she became especially distant and withdrawn after the 3rd child. And her sister Chelsea even claimed that Amy went so far as to be neglectful of her children.
Okay, then. This is a pretty crazy way to start it off.
Mm-hmm. Well, after her 3rd child, Amy became very nomadic, moving around from place to place, never staying anywhere for too long of a time. And this was around the time she began referring to herself as Mother God.
Oh, great.
Yes. By the mid-2000s, when Amy was in her early 30s, she became obsessed with New Age philosophy and became very active on a forum called lightworkers.org, where she met someone named Amaranth White Eagle, who convinced Amy that she was a divine being.
What the fuck am I hearing?
Like I said, this whole story is bananas, and I don't believe for a second that White Eagle is his real name.
I am God.
She thought she was God. We will keep going. She thought she was God. Just an interesting note, Amy's LinkedIn page, she ends up dying at the end of this, but her LinkedIn page before she died listed her as the CEO of Love Has Won, a nonprofit charity spiritual institution.
Yeah, that's a scam.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was. So they ended up being based out of Crestone, Colorado. And Crestone, Colorado is an interesting place unto itself. It's sometimes referred to as the spiritual Mecca of the United States. It became internationally known as being a home to a wide range of religious and spiritual traditions, particularly Buddhist and Hindu traditions, and apparently has more Buddhist and Hindu temples there than anywhere else in the United States.
What the fuck am I hearing?
Yes, it's very strange. And it is one of the only places in the United States where open-air funeral pyres are still legally permitted.
What the fuck is that?
It means you put someone on a bunch of wood and stuff that can burn and light them on fire, and that is their funeral.
Shit.
Yes.
That's a cool way to go out. Oh wait, you're already dead, but...
Yeah. But
You know,
yeah, that's one of the only places in the United States where that sort of funeral is permitted.
I did not know that.
Yep. But spiritualists and extraterrestrial enthusiasts believe that Crestone, Colorado has a concentrated energy for some reason, making it a prime place for interdimensional portals.
Oh, this makes no fucking sense.
This isn't even part of the cult yet. This is just the place where they ended up.
Are we sure everybody there's not on LSD?
A lot of people apparently are there, but some report a sinister presence there and a dark portal that allows for evil energies to creep in.
Is that where Lucifer's solving murders now?
What, the Tom Ellis Lucifer?
Yeah.
Maybe. Hey, maybe if there's a dark portal there, that's how he gets from hell to earth. I don't know.
Shit, that could be. I mean, I'm just asking a fair question.
We're asking fair questions, but there have been several disappearances in Crestone, Colorado.
Okay.
Apparently, a lot of people have disappeared out there. And just as of 2020, the population was listed as 141.
Okay then. So you're telling me if I like go to that town, I might not make it out?
You might disappear while you're there. In a town of 141 people, you might disappear.
You know, I can take them and fight.
All 141 people.
Maybe. See, if they're like scared of like the woods, you run in the woods. See,
That's apparently where a lot of people have disappeared, is out wandering in the woods and the mountains surrounding the area.
Well, you know what? Maybe they were on something. That's why they disappeared.
Given the spiritual and kind of hippie cults that seem to tend to end up there, that is entirely a possibility.
See, usually I'm all about paranormal stuff, but I'm just putting some common sense in.
Well, in 2007, after chatting with Mr. White Eagle, Amy left her 3 children, who were 2, 7, and 12 at the time, her job as a manager at McDonald's, and a DWI charge out of Texas to move to Colorado to be with Amaranth White Eagle, and they settled in Crestone, Colorado.
Why did you have to add the DWI charge?
Apparently, she had a DWI charge out of Texas at the time.
And same with the McDonald's. Is that really important?
That was her job. She was a manager at a McDonald's.
Sir, well, goddamn.
Yeah. So Amy and White Eagle settled in Crestone, Colorado, and founded a group called the Galactic Federation of Light.
What the fuck?
With a website called the Galactic Free Press. And this is where Amy really started leaning into the Mother God persona.
Can we take the Wayback Machine? Can we look at the Wayback Machine? I kind of want to see this website.
Yeah, I don't think it exists anymore, but because I looked for it, I couldn't find it, but that's what they created. And in 2007, she made internet posts on that Galactic Free Press, talking about her belief that she would be president one day. And they started a YouTube channel in 2009.
Ooh, I might have to search up if that YouTube channel's still around.
I looked for it. I don't think it is. But there are some YouTube channels where you can find some stuff that happens after this that are still around.
Holy shit.
Yes.
You got some clips for me?
I don't have any clips because there's a lot of videos. I have one video that I can play for you.
God damn it. I want to see what this woman looks like.
You can find pictures of her. Don't worry.
I'm thinking she's like, I'm predicting she's 5'1".
That's really tiny. She just looks like a normal, average white woman.
Well, that could vary. There's no normal average white woman.
Just rather normal. At least until she died, she looked rather normal. But anyway, Amy started calling White Eagle her father god and believed that he was her twin flame, which means that they are basically one soul split over 2 bodies.
I don't believe that. I don't believe any of the twin flame bullshit. I think it's all bullshit.
Hey, if you believe in the twin flame stuff, go ahead. That's just what she reported with the White Eagle dude. So the group they had was kind of weird, but generally considered harmless at the time, and it was described as seeming like a sort of typical hippie commune focused on sex, drugs, and peace.
I feel like you're taking a dig at them, saying kind of weird. Are you trying to attack these people? To be fair, they might be dead already.
They were weird. They were very weird.
To be fair, they're probably dead already. Well, one I know is dead from
She
what
is.
I've heard.
I don't know what happened to Amaranth White Eagle after this. I don't, because there were a few other father god figures that came and went over the next several years. Because apparently, White Eagle didn't stick around. He allegedly left her for someone else he met on the Lightworkers Forum in 2014. But there was always one mother god, and that was Amy.
I was alive when this shit happened.
Yes.
I'm glad I didn't know about it until now.
So the next father god was someone named Miguel Lamboy, and he met up with Amy in 2014. That's just his name. That's not that funny.
It is funny. It's very funny. Miguel Lamboy.
Yes.
So he's like he controls the lands or something because he's a Lamboy.
Okay. All right, let's focus on the actual weird stuff, not just the name this guy happened to be born with. But Miguel claimed to have end-stage lung cancer with one lung already removed, and their followers ended up believing that Amy healed him, which cemented their faith in her and in the group.
He would be dead.
He would be dead. It's unclear whether Lamboy himself actually believed this stuff or if only the followers believed it. But I don't think he had end-stage lung cancer because he wouldn't have made it too long after that. And he was still around a few years after this.
Well, it's like the cryptocurrency business. It's like they give hopes and they have the followers that believe them. But then the people who actually run it are like, oh yeah, we're definitely full of shit. That's what I'm seeing from this.
Oh yeah, this woman was full of it, and it gets worse from here. So the next father god was a man named Andrew who was struggling with painkiller addiction, and he ended up finding Amy's videos online, which led to them talking online, where she told him that the angels had spoken to her and told her that he was needed there with her in Colorado immediately.
Oh my fucking God.
Yes. So he showed up and started giving his $700 a week unemployment check to Miguel, who was managing the cult's finances at the time. And miraculously, Amy named him the new father god.
Well, that title means nothing. Because if everybody can get it, that means I probably have it at some point in my lifetime.
Apparently not, because she passed around this title quite a bit. But Andrew, who had a background in marketing, helped them improve their website and was the one to suggest that they change the name. Where'd that name? That changed the name from the Galactic Federation of Light to Love Has Won.
Jesus Christ.
But Andrew started feeling a little weird about the whole mother and father god thing. He didn't really believe it, particularly when Amy would drink herself into oblivion every night. So he wasn't really buying into the whole father and mother god thing.
You can't make this shit up.
No, you can't. So eventually Amy and Miguel confronted him about that, saying that if he didn't stop telling everyone that Amy wasn't God, that he'd have to leave. So he did.
So what happened to him? Did he end up in a ditch on a Friday night or something? Did he fucking die?
I don't know what happened. Apparently he just left the cult after that.
Well, I need to know these answers. What happened to him? Did they do like I don't fucking know. Did he die?
No, I don't think he died. Just everything I found on Andrew just says that he just left.
No offense,
and I guess he just went back to his life.
No offense, but if he had painkiller addiction, he shouldn't be alive much longer. He should be dead soon. It's just a fair assessment. Don't get mad at me.
Yeah, but
I'm just calling it how
Andrew
I see
just
it.
left. So there were a few other father gods until 2018. So we'll get to the father god of 2018 in a minute. But during this time, they were running out of a mobile home with about 12 to 20 full-time members who lived with and near her. And they had up to 200 members worldwide online.
Don't join cults.
Don't join cults. But yeah, Amy's devotees referred to her as both mom and mother.
Yeah, that ain't gonna fucking happen. You ain't getting that out of me.
Yeah.
You would have to kill me first.
But during this time, Amy claimed that she discovered at an early age that she could communicate with angels and that it was her mission to help expose others to what she called the Great Awakening.
What the fuck does that mean?
Apparently, it was her mission to lead 144,000 people. And this number comes from the book of Revelation in the Bible. That's the number of believers who are supposed to ascend to heaven and be saved in the rapture. The Jehovah's Witnesses still believe in the strict 144,000 is the only amount of people who will be saved number. So that's where she got that number. But it's her mission to lead 144,000 believers into the awakened, quote, 5D plane of existence.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting some... Yeah, Jesus Christ. I don't know who's worse, her or David Koresh.
This woman has some outrageous claims.
I can't decide who's worse, and usually I think Koresh is one of the worst.
At least Koresh just claimed that he was Jesus.
At least he didn't do all this bullshit, but he did murder some people.
Yeah, he did get people killed, but at least he only claimed that he was Jesus. We'll get to more claims about Mother God in a minute. But in addition to all this nonsense that she was spouting, there were also a lot of similarities to QAnon, the far-right political conspiracy theorist movement that originated in 2017.
Jesus
And if you aren't familiar with QAnon, they are based on the claims of an anonymous individual known only as Q, hence QAnon. And he claimed to be a high-ranking government official with, quote, Q clearance, which gave him access to classified information about the Trump administration and its opponents. And their followers believed that the Trump administration was secretly fighting a cabal, which is a small group of people who conspire in secret to promote their own beliefs or interests. But the Trump administration is fighting a cabal of pedophiles, and one day they would conduct mass arrests and mass executions of these cabal members on a day known as either the storm or the event. So he's the cigarette-smoking man from the X-Files.
Was he a closet gay also?
Yes, I think he was. I think he was. So the cigarette-smoking man who is a closet gay. And anyway, Amy's followers believed a lot of similar things to the QAnon people. The fake news stuff, the government is lying to you stuff, the COVID was a hoax stuff, all the conspiracy theory nonsense that they believe.
COVID was not a fucking hoax. I had it.
We've had it a few times.
It was bullshit. COVID's not a fucking hoax. If you believe that, well, get it one time and you'll see.
So some more wacky nonsense that this group believed. So one member of the group, Lauren Suarez, who went by the new name Aurora when she joined the group, said that Amy believed herself to be the queen of Lemuria, which was a lost continent similar to Atlantis. It was first proposed by zoologist Philip Sclater, who theorized that it sank beneath the Indian Ocean, but that's been well disproved. But she was the queen of Lemuria. Donald Trump was her father in a past life in Lemuria. I don't know.
What the fuck am I hearing?
And inhabitants of fellow lost continent Atlantis allegedly stole crystal technology from Lemuria, and the Earth subsequently exploded when the Atlantean people tried to use those stolen crystals.
I think I might have a stroke hearing this.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened because the Earth is still here. But then she says after that happened, the Earth was taken over by the Anunnakis, who are heavenly beings in ancient Sumerian, Syrian, and Babylonian theologies, whose primary function is to decree the fates of humanity, and the reptilians.
Mark Zuckerberg is back at it, baby.
Yeah, so we've got now the Anunnakis and the reptilians having taken over Earth.
Well, don't forget it's led by Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, it's led by Mark Zuckerberg. And right now, the Earth is being controlled by the evil 1%. She's not wrong about the evil 1% part, but in her mind, the evil 1% are a cabal who are the minions of the Anunnakis and the reptilians.
I think these people are so stupid. Beavis and Butthead could take over their cult and be the cult leaders.
Beavis did start a cult being Cornholio. This isn't based on anything more concrete than Beavis spouting Cornholio nonsense.
Like I said, they could take over their cult and be the cult leaders.
Yeah, but apparently the Anunnakis and the reptilians are trying to keep the Earth at a low vibration, whatever that means, which is harmful to humankind.
Groove with me, people.
Yeah, groove with me, people. Yeah, that's where you need Beavis and Butthead saying groove with me, people. Yeah, but apparently Amy, Mother God, is about 19 billion years old. Not million, billion, with a B.
Jesus Christ, she was floating in space for a minute.
Yeah, and about 19 billion years ago, Mother God and Father God formulated a plan to save humanity and brought it to Earth, where they have been incarnating in various bodies ever since.
Save them.
Yeah, like I said, this stuff is bonkers. And of course, as occults do, they said only those who follow Mother God will be saved.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I don't really give a shit.
Yeah. So during all this time, their group was moving around between Colorado, Oregon, and Florida before they finally settled in Moffett, Colorado in 2018, where they took Andrew's advice and officially established themselves as Love Has Won.
Did they still have the shitty RV?
I don't know.
Well, that's half the part of the story. Is the RV.
I don't know if they still had the shitty RV.
They started from the underground. They started from the bottom with a shitty RV. Did they upgrade? I need to know. This is important information.
I do not know that, but let's talk about Mother God for a minute. So, Amy claimed she has reincarnated 534 times.
Well, goddamn. That's more than Lucifer.
Which is a weirdly specific number. But my question is, if she's this powerful cosmic being who's 19 billion years old and we'll get to some of the other people that she thinks she's been. Why did she incarnate this time into the body of just someone from the Midwest who ended up as a McDonald's manager?
She was humble.
Yeah, I don't know. Sure, maybe she wanted to appear humble this time. Oh, but yeah. So she's been incarnated 534 times, and there have been 589 assassination attempts made on her life.
Well, goddamn, I thought Trump had the most.
I know, but yeah, apparently she's had that many assassination attempts made on her life. And the threat on Mother God's life was a key component in controlling the cult members and a recurring theme on their infamous daily live streams that they did.
Well, you know what? If she's an all-powerful being, why does the assassination attempts matter? If they killed her, she could just go into another one of her followers.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
There's nothing to be afraid of. You're 19 billion years old.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. But this is the shit she said. And sadly, for a lot of the cult members who were very deeply involved, these live streams that she did often became the only way their family members could check in on them, because she didn't let them communicate with their family members.
That's really bad. That's a bad look.
That is a bad look.
That's almost like what Koresh did.
Yes. But her math is not mathing on a lot of things. So the Milky Way galaxy is 13.61 billion years old. Yet she's 19 million years old. 19 billion years old.
Well, she came from another galaxy. She came from far...
Okay. Well, we estimate that the universe itself is 13.8 billion years old.
She created the universe. She's the all-powerful being.
I don't know. But I said her math is not mathing. Well, there is a new theory that the universe is actually about twice as old as that, about 26.7 billion years old, and it only looks 13.8 billion years old because Light loses energy as the universe itself expands, which is a whole thing about telling how old light is called redshift. I do not have the scientific know-how to explain that to you thoroughly. So we have to calculate for this reduction in energy when we estimate the age of the universe based on the observable light, instead of just assuming that light travels at a constant speed. But that's an entirely different discussion. But either way, the math is not mathing.
Well, you know what? She came from far, far away. She's the all-powerful being.
Yeah, and it's unclear from what she said whether the 589 assassination attempts were all in this lifetime or spread out over her other 534 incarnated lives. But either way, there's at least a couple of lives where she's had to have had more than one assassination attempt on that life. Because there's more assassination attempts than there are lives she's supposedly been incarnated here.
Well, you know... Hell, I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. This shit's so fucked up.
Yeah, this, like I told you, this shit is bananas. All variety of bananas.
What kind of music did she like?
I don't know.
Is she... this is an important question. What kind of music did she like?
I have no idea, my dude. I do not know.
I thought you did research. I thought you knew about her life.
Nothing I found said anything about what kind of music she liked, okay? I don't know.
I'm asking the important questions. These are the questions that save humanity.
Oh, there's more math that isn't mathing.
Jesus
Because
Christ.
the average life expectancy for a woman is 80.2 years. I'll be generous and round it up to 81. So 19 billion years she's supposedly been alive, divided by 81 years for the life expectancy of an average woman, gives you 234,567,901 lives that she should have been able to live if she had reincarnated fairly quickly after each death. But she's telling us she's only been around 534 times. Yes.
This doesn't make fucking sense.
Yes. Or if you look at it a different way, and she's lived each life, for the average lifespan, there's 234,567, 367 lifespans that are unaccounted for.
Those are the secret ones.
Yeah. Or yet another way to look at it, the 534 lives she's lived times an average of 81 years is 43,254 years that she's lived. So that number, subtracted from the 19 billion years she's said to be, is 18,999,956,746 years unaccounted for.
Those are the secret ones when she was in the underground basement trying to start up her rap career.
Is that what people do in between incarnations?
Yeah. They start from the bottom in their rap careers.
Yeah, so like I said, the math isn't mathing, because that's a lot of time unaccounted for. What has she been doing in all that time if she is this great cosmic being?
Well, you know what? She might have been just doing other shit, trying to be the underground maybe she's trying to be an underground artist. And she's just really shit at music. So she's just like, fuck it, I'm going to Earth this time.
Yeah. Sure.
That's my theory.
Oh, wow. But yeah, anyway, many of the videos that Love Has Won posted don't portray Amy in a particularly good or charismatic or charming light. And a lot of them, she's either screaming at someone on camera or she's behind the camera screaming at someone, usually over ridiculous things. There is one that we found of her yelling at somebody about getting her meatballs for dinner instead of chicken parmesan, because that was not what her vision was about. And about needing some tequila.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
If you would hand me my phone right there, that's actually the clip that I found. It's absurd.
So apparently her vision chicken parmesan is just fucking terrible.
Yeah, and apparently that is kind of par for the course for the videos that got posted.
What the fuck did I just listen to?
Yes, exactly. What you just heard, is supposed to be this great 19 billion year old cosmic being.
Okay, maybe this made sense. Maybe she just does not give a shit about people anymore. Think about it. If a vampire lives long enough, they're going to stop caring. And then, boom, she's 19 billion years old, so she don't care anymore.
But she's preoccupied with meatballs versus chicken parmesan. I don't think someone who's 19 billion years old is going to care all that much.
Fuck, you got me there.
Yeah, and it seems like more of these videos have surfaced now that the cult is being exposed and called out.
This shit's still happening?
She's dead now. This is not still happening. But people who were formerly from this cult are starting to post these videos and call this to people's attention, her behavior there.
Well,
yeah, and many of the videos have Amy ranting like this with little to no context about why she's ranting or what she's upset about.
I kind of knew she was going to sound like that. I just had a feeling she was going to sound like that.
Yeah, it's like she just started going off about something and someone, either Amy herself or one of the members, decided, hey, this needs to be filmed and started filming it.
I really don't want to offend anybody, but if you actually believed in this cult, you actually followed these people, you should take a look at yourself in the mirror for a second. Just go back and listen to that shit.
But we can't blame them too much because as cults do, they targeted vulnerable people. They like Andrew, they targeted people who were experiencing, drug addiction problems. They targeted people with mental health issues. So we can't really blame the people who got sucked into this because I think she was doing this very deliberately.
Yeah. Well, still, you kind of need to look in the mirror and just see, what the fuck happened.
Mm-hmm.
So we go from her ranting about bullshit to death.
Oh, yeah, there's more of the story here.
Oh, great.
So the Father God who remained Father God for a long part from 2018 until she died in 2021 was Jason Castillo. He joined Love Has Won in 2018 once they had officially become Love Has Won after seeing some of the group's videos on YouTube.
Wait, hold on. I'm just thinking about this. Is the Father God title just like Papa Emeritus, in the band Ghost, how they just pass that title on and on to people?
Yes, there you go. It's like that. It's the Papa Emeritus title. It just gets passed on from person to person. But yeah, there's no explanation as to why, because apparently she said Jason Castillo was the Father God that had been conspiring with her 19 billion years ago.
So who were the fucking other two?
When they said we need to bring, this plan to Earth and save the people. There's no explanation as to why, if he was formulating this plan with Mother God 19 billion years ago, he had to hear about them from YouTube videos.
Maybe.
I don't know. But
think about this. Men in Black, the thing that erases your memory. What if he got hit by one of those?
Okay, but if he's supposed to be a cosmic being too, it shouldn't mess with him.
You don't know how they work.
Okay. All right, whatever. But this Father God, Jason Castillo, he claimed that he has traveled to lower realms and lower planets to master them. No further context about what that means.
Lower planets and lower realms?
Yes. So as Mother God was the master of the light realm, Father God was the master of the dark realm.
So he was the master of hell.
Maybe. Well, he did also call himself Lucifer. Original.
Very original. Just such an original title.
Yeah. And members reported that this Father God, Jason Castillo, was frequently abusive to them and would often threaten violence and abuse.
Yeah, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. So this other stuff they believed was taken from their lovehaswon.org website, which was registered on October 23rd, 2015, but it is no longer available. So they said, every single human is an angel capable of unique and wonderful things. They just need to flip the program and return to being the great divine being they have always been.
How the fuck do you do that?
You have to join the Love Has Won cult and give money to Mother God. That's essentially what it comes down to.
Give me money.
Yes. But they also say, everyone came to this life with a contract to be here, to wake up and help Mother God transmute all the necessary energy and human experience needed for the planet to be able to ascend to the fifth dimension.
You know, when I was born, I never signed a fucking contract.
Yeah. I don't think being born signs you into a contract. That's not how contract law works.
Yeah, if that's actually true, where's my fucking contract? I want to see it. I want to read what's in it. Oh, wait, there is none. So fuck off about your stupid contract bullshit.
Yeah. So, the planet is supposed to ascend to the fifth dimension, but they never get around to explaining what the fifth dimension means to them, what it's supposed to be. Now, mathematical work on understanding fifth dimensional space was done in an attempt to develop a theory of everything, as posited by Einstein, that would unify our understanding of the four fundamental forces of nature: strong and weak nuclear forces, gravity, and electromagnetism. Basically unifying quantum mechanics with Einstein's general theory of relativity. So we don't really still understand what the fifth dimension actually is. And I certainly don't understand anything I just told you about well enough to explain it really effectively here.
Well, the fifth dimension in her mind is probably just fucking Mars or something.
But Mars is still here. We can see it in the third dimension. That's not the fifth dimension.
Well, just look at her ranting about chicken parmesan and meatballs. And then come back to me with an answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go rant about meatballs and chicken parmesan. Only then can you talk about the fifth dimension.
Chicken parmesan, meatballs, fifth dimension, same thing.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's all the same. But then on a Facebook page called Love Has Won Exposed, which was created on September 15th, 2020, they still have 459 active members on that page, by the way. That page is still there.
You know, I think she liked the movie Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Hey, maybe that was it. She liked Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. But anyway, these were comments that apparently were on that Facebook page. They're no longer there now, but they were at one point. They said the user members called Mother God their, quote, God in a physical vessel, and that she loves unconditionally and speaks only 100% truth.
So apparently that's a fucking lie.
Yeah, that is a lie. And they also said, Amy will soon ascend this planet by being picked up by a starship or going through a portal in the ocean, and anyone who doesn't believe in her will be recycled into the galactic sun.
What the fuck is a galactic sun?
Yeah, I was about to say, first of all, that whole idea is nonsense to begin with. But then, yeah, they call it the galactic sun, which the term galactic means within this galaxy. And our sun is just a star. So there's a fuck ton of stars, galactic suns in our galaxy. So which one? Which one? Which one are we being thrown into?
I don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna say. I don't have notes for this shit. I was thinking we are gonna be talking about some fucking cryptid, not some fucking crazy bitch with a fucking cult.
Oh no, yeah, this is insane. You're right. Okay, remember how I said at least David Koresh only said he was Jesus?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, on a website called Medium, one of her followers wrote a post about her, saying she has walked paths none can imagine, and said that some of her past lives were Jesus, Joan of Arc, Cleopatra, Queen Elizabeth of England, and Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, at least Koresh only said he was Jesus.
Well, you know, it's like taking two evils. Which one's worse? And I can't really decide. Which one I hate more, Koresh or her.
Yeah. And this guy who posted on this Medium website also claimed that he had healed himself of stage 4 cancer, hypothyroidism, and migraines through her spiritual teachings and holistic practices.
Basically LSD.
Yeah, that most likely. Yeah, so that is insane. But what really is really terrible is if she is telling people that she can help them and preying on people with terminal illnesses, either because they've gotten to a point with whatever they're dealing with that Western medicine has failed and there's nothing anybody can do for them anymore and they're desperate and willing to try anything, or if she is duping people who have something that can be treated into believing this nonsense instead of seeking actual treatment.
Yeah, she's just giving them LSD to hallucinate, and they're just going to die soon, probably.
Yeah. So, yeah. It went from being just a goofy, sex, peace, love, drugs, kind of hippie cult when it started to this.
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. But Dr. Phil actually interviewed Amy and her family on September 15th, 2020.
Holy shit.
Yes. That full interview is actually on YouTube if you want to watch that, by the way.
I'm going to need to watch that.
Yeah, it's wild. But Amy's sister in this interview told Dr. Phil that Amy fully believed that she could perform what she called spiritual surgeries on people with just the touch of her hands.
Don't touch me.
Yeah. I don't know what a spiritual surgery is supposed to be, but that's what she claims she can do. And also, she didn't even need to just touch you, apparently. Supposedly, you could just contact the Love Has Won cult, and she would perform these spiritual surgeries over the phone for about $80. Yes.
That's where the alcohol and drug funding is going.
Yes. Yes, that's where they're funding their alcohol and drug habits, because she apparently very much was an alcoholic.
That one clip proved it to me. Mm-hmm. That's where their funding's going. Get some spiritual surgery.
Yeah. So, in 2019, they registered as a 501c3 nonprofit religious organization, thanks to the work of Miguel Lamboy, one of the father gods that she cycled through. And that helped them facilitate the shady ways in which they made their money. One of the biggest sources of income, besides donations, were selling questionable items like colloidal silver and gold.
What?
And if you aren't familiar with colloidal silver, there's a man named Paul Carlson who took a lot of colloidal silver to treat things like sinus issues, dermatitis, acid reflux, various other issues. But that caused him to develop a condition called argyria or argyrosis, which is a condition caused by excessive exposure to chemical compounds in silver. And in the early 1990s, he'd taken so much of it that his skin permanently turned a bluish-purple color.
He's the blueberry man.
Yes, he was the blueberry man. So don't take colloidal silver. Because the FDA actually warned in 1999 that colloidal silver was not safe or effective for treating any disease or condition. But the members still believed in it and promoted that it was good for your health and wellness.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And then on April 1st, 2020, the FDA actually issued a warning to Love Has Won about the advertising they were doing for colloidal silver, saying that it could treat and prevent COVID-19.
They didn't give a shit. Let's just be honest. They saw the FDA and they were like, oh my God, the government's trying to take us down.
Well, they kept selling the colloidal silver, but they did amend their product labels and advertising about it after they got that warning from the FDA.
I'm surprised they didn't do a total freak out.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't do a total freak out on it also, but they amended their stuff so as not to further piss off the FDA. But they also had numerous GoFundMe pages that apparently never really did very well. One of the more ridiculous ones was requesting $40,000 so that Mother God could realize her dream of having a tilt-a-whirl at her house.
What the fuck is that?
It's an old carnival ride.
I'm fucking terrified. I'm not scared of the cryptids or any of the other shit we talked about. I'm scared of her. I'm scared of her coming back from the dead and trying to target me.
If she were still around, I'd be scared of her too, because this woman is fucking nuts. But yeah, apart from that, they moved on to straight up fraud. If members couldn't donate, they were encouraged to take money out of their retirement accounts, Social Security, etc. And members said that they regularly continued to receive Social Security benefits, food stamps, and other government benefits for people that were deceased or no longer dependents of theirs who resided with them. And Amy herself was said to have continued collecting food stamps for the 3 children that she abandoned. That be fraud.
I'm hearing a lot of...
That be benefits fraud.
I hear a lot of illegal shit.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You can't make this shit up.
No. You can't make this shit up. So at its height, Love Has Won had 17,000 followers on Facebook with live streams occurring daily. And they also had a website that sold random merch with things like God Squad, Love Has Won, and IDK shit on t-shirts.
Huh?
Yeah, IDK for I don't know. IDK shit.
Are they making their followers look stupid? Was that their intention?
They kind of were. But yeah, because a lot of the merch was really basic. It was nothing original. And yeah, if you're supposed to be this cult that's supposed to have, the secret to this, heightened, awakened state of consciousness, and about all this these spiritual battles that are going on, and you're aware of things that other people aren't, I'm not sure why you would want to sell a t-shirt that says IDK shit. But they did. But they did.
Wait. I know why they do that. They make their followers buy it, so when they walk around wearing the shirt, they're like, oh, that guy doesn't know fucking jack shit.
I guess. But yeah, so, Amy's sister, Chelsea, in that interview with Dr. Phil, said she does believe that Amy knows exactly what she's doing and is knowingly scamming her followers, citing the requirement that her followers give her money and gifts.
I mean, I could send her a gift. Oh, wait, she said, never mind. I could have sent her a power drill, but I don't think she's even worth a fucking power drill, to be honest.
Why a power drill?
To be honest, I don't fucking know.
Well, I don't know. The shit she believes is so random, she'd probably like something as random as that.
I could send her an empty water bottle and say this was the water Jesus drank.
She'd probably make something out of that and say that the water bottle is now a holy relic or something. I don't know. But yeah, in addition to all this nonsense, they did engage in behavior that is very much cult behavior. So before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about what's called the bite model for authoritarian control that's often used by cults. So authoritarian groups under the bite model, authoritarian groups seek to control the behavior, information, thought, and emotional control of their members. So hence the acronym BITE. That was developed by Stephen Allen Hayson, who himself fell victim to another cult called the Unification Church of the United States. Among their beliefs was that Richard Nixon was an archangel, and during the Watergate scandal, Hayson and other members of the church engaged in prayer and fasting to, quote, prove their loyalty to the president.
I didn't know we had fucking cults around Richard Nixon.
Apparently we did. And in 1976, Hayson fell asleep while driving after having been sleep deprived by the cult for 2 days, ended up in an accident requiring hospitalization. So his parents hired what were called deprogrammers to break the church's hold on him. Deprogramming is a controversial tactic that seeks to dissuade people from strongly held beliefs, usually when others believe those beliefs are problematic and harmful to them, like cults. And a lot of people consider certain methods used by deprogrammers to be violent, borderline torture, like restraining, kidnapping them, holding them somewhere hostage, isolating them from people. And a lot of the methods certainly are coercive and unethical. But it worked. Hasten finally did decide that he had been brainwashed by the church, and after that, he dedicated his life to studying cults and developing strategies to aid members in escaping them.
Wow.
Yeah, so he eventually earned a PhD from Fielding Graduate University in California in 2021, and his dissertation became his BITE method that I talked about.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. So, in 1999, he founded the Freedom of Mind Resource Center, which provide resources for people seeking to either help themselves or a loved one escape the influence of a cult. And he posts information about organizations that he's investigated or have received complaints about.
Nice.
Yeah. So some culty behavior from Love Has Won. Amy insisted that members, as part of being in the organization and to ascend to a higher enlightened state, they had to cut ties with other people because that kept them ground to earthly things, especially people who were not members. Isolating you and dictating who you can and can't associate with, classic cult behavior.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And members were not allowed to have sex with any other people unless Amy assigned them a twin flame.
I think
they could not find their own twin flame. Amy had to assign it to them.
The shit I'm hearing, I just want to. God damn, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
This is bonkers. Members could only sleep between the hours of 12 and 5 a.m., and they were encouraged not to go into deep sleep and try to remain as conscious as possible. So, sleep deprivation. Another method of cults to make you more pliable to their beliefs.
Yeah.
And it's reported that members would tell her they were going to take, quote, spiritual walks in the nearby forest and just go out into the forest and lay down and take a nap somewhere because they're being sleep deprived.
I mean, these people are smart and stupid at the same time.
Sadly, yeah, that happens to a lot of people who end up in cults. Their food was rationed, of course, and if members disobeyed Mother or Father God, they were sent to fend for themselves in a remote stretch of land near the town until Mother God decided they could come back.
That just sounds like torture.
Yeah, that's what it is. Just send them out into the wilderness and they have to fend for themselves until Mother God says it's okay for you to come back.
Are they controlling what fucking vehicle I drive?
They're likely just living there. They're probably not driving much of anywhere.
Is it? It's still a crime, but could you get away with, kind of stealing one of their cars and just, driving away from this cult so they don't kill you?
Apparently a few people did leave, but a lot of people were really sucked into this thing, and they wouldn't even consider leaving.
You know what? Shit happens.
Shit does happen. But before we get to sort of the unraveling of the cult and Amy's death, some more random absurdity from this cult. Amy was reportedly drunk and under the influence a lot. One member named Jeremy Brown reportedly said that one of the reasons many members were convinced she was God was because of her ability to consume alcohol. That she once drank 24 tequila shots in a row and chugged a bottle of, quote, very concentrated THC.
How did she not fucking die?
I don't know. And odd criteria for deciding who you think is God, but okay.
She should be dead from alcohol poisoning.
Yes, I know. Like I said, she was very much an alcoholic.
What? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and apparently some users who lived in the same area with them under the Love Has Won cult subpage on Reddit said that all of them, meaning all of them in the cult, were drunk and high all the time, And their schemes, like their GoFundMe pages and stuff, were their way of begging for money to fund their habits.
That's what I said earlier. I called it.
Yeah. Yeah. But, among other absurdity, Amy claimed to frequently communicate with actor Robin Williams, who they had listed as a, quote, team member on the group's website, despite the fact that he died in 2014.
He wanted nothing to do with this shit.
Poor Robin Williams. Don't drag Robin Williams into this. Of all the things she did, that's just dirty. Dragging poor Robin Williams into this mess. But Robin Williams was not the only celebrity the group claimed to have some special connection with, or more specifically, Amy claimed to have some special connection with. Here's a not complete list of other people she thought were divine beings, who she called her Galactic A-Team. But among them were Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Steve Irwin, which keep Steve Irwin's name out of your mouth, you insane bitch. I will stand no Steve Irwin slander. But yeah, Steve Irwin, Prince, John Lennon, Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, no. David Bowie, Tupac, Patrick Swayze, Kobe Bryant, Bob Marley, Walt Disney, and the list goes on, but those were some of the notable ones.
That fucking bitch brought Kobe Bryant into this shit.
Yes.
I fucking hate you. If you're listening from the grave, I hate you.
Yeah.
What did Kobe ever do?
What did Kobe ever fucking do to you?
What did Steve Irwin and Carrie Fisher ever do?
What did Tupac ever do?
So, like I said, absurdity. Also, Amy would supposedly go into trance-like states that she called etheric meetings for special meetings with any number of this galactic A-team. Accordingly to the untrained eye, it just looked like she was sleeping, but really she's meeting with the celestial A-Team.
Oh my fucking God.
Yes. Like you said earlier, Derek, you can't make this shit up.
I'm just pissed she brought up Tupac and Kobe Bryant.
I'm still hurting about Steve Irwin.
That fucking insane bitch.
Yeah. So the day Robin Williams died in 2014, this was back when the group was still the Galactic Federation of Light or whatever, but she said that the group didn't have great internet connection at that time. They were searching for a Wi-Fi spot, and they happened to find a connection just long enough to receive the headline that Robin Williams had died. Convenient. And then she said 20 minutes later, Robin Williams is standing in her bedroom and told her that he'd been murdered.
Oh my God.
Yeah, not true. And she says they had a brief conversation about his movies, and then he asked her for the records for the mission. And she said she had 10 years worth of documents that she gave him about whatever it was that she was doing. And he came back 2 hours later and said he wanted to be part of the team. And apparently he's been there ever since as the, quote, master surgeon from the other side.
So does he have an explanation for what happened to Kobe?
I don't know.
Or was she dead by then?
But again, the math is not mathing. So she started the Galactic Federation of Light in 2007, remember? And she claimed to have 10 years of records when Robin Williams died, so she'd have had to have started all this nonsense in 2004.
She's full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, her math isn't mathing. Among other nonsense that she said, apparently Adolf Hitler was just serving the light.
I don't think you can say that.
No.
Adolf Hitler is one of the biggest war criminals of all time.
Yeah, but according to her, he was just serving the light.
By killing the Jews and everybody else?
Apparently so.
She's a Nazi supporter.
Evidently.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah. But yeah, the group moved to the island of Kauai in Hawaii in 2020. And they got into some shit there because once they got there, Amy claimed that she was Pele, the Hawaiian goddess of fire.
And she told that to Hawaiians?
Yes, she told that to the Hawaiian people there. The natives did not take to that kindly. A multi-day protest ensued, with protesters lighting driftwood fires and chanting Hawaiian prayers around the property and throwing rocks and eggs at the house they rented there. And it eventually required the mayor of Kauai, Derek Kawakami, to intervene and negotiate the group's departure from the island. They initially traveled to Maui, another island in Hawaii, but were convinced to return to Colorado in September of 2020.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
See, people who name Derek can do nothing wrong. We're only good people.
Yeah. Good job, Derek Kawakami, for preventing that from going even further south than it did.
She would have got killed 1 year earlier. I don't know if she got murdered, but she would have died 1 year earlier.
She didn't get murdered. We're getting to her death here. By the time the group returned from Hawaii, Amy was reportedly in very poor health and paralyzed from the waist down.
What? What happened?
Yeah, we're getting there. Amy herself claimed that she had cancer at this point. So by April 2021, the group was located in an RV park in Mount Shasta in Northern California.
The RV's back. Let's fucking go,
The
boys.
RV's back. So they were in an RV park in Mount Shasta in Northern California, but apparently they were asked to leave due to overcrowding. And the last time Amy was seen alive by anyone outside the cult group was April 10th, 2021.
Guess what? I'm going to guess she died of alcohol poisoning. Or something to do with alcohol.
You are partially right.
Partially?
You are partially right. On April 28th, 2021, police in Crestone, again, they ended up back in Crestone, Colorado, were sent to the property where the group ended up on a wellness check for a member of the group. Because apparently a former member had tipped off the police that the group had been transporting Amy's body around by this point.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so they went to the house, they did a wellness check, and they found her mummified corpse in the house that they were in, which was near Crestone.
What?
Yes. Apparently they kept her body after she died and had tried to preserve it. And it was in such a state of decay at that point that she'd likely been dead for several weeks.
Holy shit.
Yes. A photo of Amy taken from a few weeks prior to her estimated date of death shows her to be emaciated with thinning hair and discolored skin of a purplish hue. Remember the colloidal silver stuff?
Yep.
Argyrosis? Well, apparently, in addition to turning your skin blue, it can also cause seizures and organ failure.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm. And in an autopsy report released in December 2021, her cause of death was listed as, quote, global decline. Oh, that is one of our dogs. Excuse that. I don't know what they're barking at, but it was called, quote, global decline in the setting of alcohol abuse, anorexia, and chronic colloidal silver ingestion.
Holy shit. She ingested that much alcohol and that much colloidal silver that it killed her.
Yep.
Do we have a photo of what she looked like a few weeks before death?
I don't have a photo, but there is police body cam footage.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Her body was found in what appeared to be a makeshift shrine on the bed in the house where they found her. She was in a sleeping bag wrapped with Christmas lights, and there was glitter covering her face.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So Jason Castillo, Father God at the time, and 6 other members of the group were arrested and charged with abuse of a corpse and child abuse because there were 2 children present in the house at this time.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah. And there is a short video on YouTube of the body cam footage of the police finding Amy's corpse. If you search Love Has Won police body cam footage, you can find it. You do get a good view of the body at the end of the video, so trigger warning on that. But at one point you can hear the police say, wow, they painted her, because apparently she was so blue and purple from the colloidal silver they thought they painted her.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and they did paint her eyelids. And another trigger warning, the police are kind of laughing and joking with each other, but I think that's more a response to the absurdity of the situation than any insensitivity on their part. And also, first responders have a morbid and dark sense of humor.
Yeah, they do. They're like, all they could do is just laugh because you can't make this shit up.
Yeah, and I truly think that's why they were laughing, because the whole thing was just so absurd.
Like, you would never think this shit would happen. Never.
Yeah.
You really can't make this shit up.
No, you can't make this shit up. So on May 5th, 2021, Deputy District Attorney Alex Raines announced his plans to upgrade the charges from abuse of a corpse to the more serious charge of tampering with a deceased human body. Apparently for their carting it around before they ended up in California.
Oh.
Or ended up in Colorado, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, apparently, because they were in Northern California the last time she was seen alive, and apparently they went from California. I think they went through Oregon at some point and ended up back in Colorado.
He was so pissed about this case. He's like, you know what? I'm up in their fucking charge.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but it gets wilder. Apparently, Amy had at times asked for medical intervention before her death, and her followers denied it, worried that the cabal might try to get to her. Remember, she'd been very insistent about that there were threats and assassination attempts on her life.
Yeah.
Well, apparently it backfired on her. Because Lauren Suarez, the one who calls herself Aurora, that's her name under the cult.
Yeah.
She's reported to have said, there have been moments when mom has asked us to take her to a 3D hospital and we're like, nope, because there's no way, and we know exactly how hijacking works. And you can bet your fucking ass that someone in that hospital, whoever it would be, would get hijacked and go straight to mom and try to do who knows what. They would try to take her to surgery. They would try to do some crazy shit. So absolutely not.
Well,
which just shows how utterly brainwashed some of these people were.
Well, that backfired on her. That's what you fucking get for saying some crazy shit and you died from it.
Yes. But yeah, the charges that were levied against the cult members were ultimately dropped. They were dropped for 6 people, and the Sagauchi, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Sagauchi County Court Clerk's Office said that no case existed for the 7th person, but didn't explain what had happened and why there was no case for the 7th person. And Sagauchi County Assistant District Attorney Alex Raines asked the judge to drop all the charges during a September 14th, 2021 hearing. The defense counsel requested that the records of the case be sealed, which was approved. So again, I can't get much information about the court case itself because fucking documents are sealed. I can't get to them. And it's unknown why the charges were dropped.
That shouldn't have been dropped.
No, all I can think of is, well, since I can't look at the records because the records are sealed, just given that we do know that there was one case that was never filed. So my only guess on that is either they just forgot to file the case at first for one person and it just kind of slipped through the system, or there was a reason they didn't file it for someone. They just didn't think they had enough against that one person. But if they just kind of accidentally let the one slip through the cracks and forgot to file the 7th one, maybe they botched some other stuff about the filing of these cases, and that's why they had to drop them. So I am just speculating without being able to actually get a look at the court records.
That would kind of make sense because I just don't think those charges could have been dropped.
Yeah, it was weird. But after her death, the Facebook group's page claimed that she had ascended, and then the lovehaswon.org website was taken down. And in the aftermath of her death, the cult splintered. Jason Castillo, Father God, formed a group called Joy Reigns. And another faction that split off from that had control over the group's online activities rebranded their Facebook page and YouTube channel as 5D Full Disclosure and launched a new website called 5dfulldisclosure.org.
Wow.
And so the Facebook group Love Has Won Exposed that I mentioned before that was established in 2020, that's still up. And if you go to their About page, I won't read the whole thing because it's a lot of word vomit. But apparently that's still run and still has a few hundred members of like the original online Love Has Won cult. And it says this: "Greetings, humanity. If you take a good look around you, it is very apparent that we are in a full-blown spiritual war. Nothing makes sense anymore, and more discrepancies create the rules that bind our freedom. We have become disempowered by the enabling and consumption of misinformation. This is their main weapon." No reference to who they are. They are, by the way. "And many of you will blindly accept it as truth. Truth with a capital T, mind you.
Okay.
Without realizing that they are the enemy. Here we have the truest being of love, all capital, and light being slandered by the energetics of the old controllers, and many of you in your unconsciousness instantly hop on the bandwagon of hate and judgment devoid of any tangible experience to base it off of." And it keeps going on. It's a lot more word vomit from there.
Does this story end? Is it still developing?
Yes, no, that's it. She died. The group's kind of splintered off. That Facebook group is still there. But yeah, so that is the story of Amy, aka Mother God, and the Love Has Won cult. Like I said, the entire Dr. Phil episode is available on YouTube. Dateline NBC ran a 2-hour documentary of it on October 15th, 2021. And HBO released a docuseries called Love Has Won, The Cult of Mother God, which premiered on November 13th, 2023. So there are more sources out there if you're interested in hearing more about Mother God and Love Has Won.
I just got to ask this question before we end this podcast.
Yes.
What happened to the other groups?
I don't know. Apparently they're still out there kind of trying to do their thing, but they lost a lot of momentum after Amy died.
See? I don't even know where I'm trying to go with this. Yeah. Shit happened. A person died. Or a few, maybe. I don't fucking know. And, yeah. I don't like cults. See you later.
Yeah. So, I told you it was all kinds of bananas.
You were not wrong.
I was not wrong. That is all kinds of bananas. So I hope you enjoyed that story of the Love Has Won cult and Mother God. If you like this, then make sure to follow, subscribe, all the things.
Like and subscribe.
Yes, like, subscribe, follow, all the things.